excited because I got this finally. Anyway, hey, it's your boy Sergeant Hook on Henshins. So another Toku toy view coming at you today. This is of course on the Legend series, Legend Makeover series, Kuuga Arcle. This is probably one of my favorites I've seen so far. I'm definitely happy to have something from Kuuga in my collection, especially being the driver. Because right now, other than this, before this came out, the only other option was either CSM or go fuck yourself. You could find some of the original like toys maybe, but they're going to be probably near the price of the CSM anyway, because if you didn't know, Kuuga aired in like 2000 or 2001, so that's like a good 20 years ago, so the prices are going to be skyrocket high. And a quick like thing with this, if you've never watched Kamen Rider Kuuga, to me Kuuga is a really fun series to watch. I really enjoyed it. It's actually in my top 5 Rider seasons, but I also think it's a really great season to watch to start somebody in Kamen Rider. It's very simple and distilled. It's got enough of the uniqueness that other seasons have past it without having a bunch of extra gimmick pieces, like the progress keys and stuff like that can kind of be overbearing for some people, without having multiple riders, without having super crazy flashy henshin sequences. Not that those things are bad, but they can sometimes be a turning off point for people that just go, is that Japanese Power Rangers? Not knowing the source material and where that comes from. The ways to watch Kuuga, very easy. First and foremost, on Tokushoutsu, that's a channel that's on Pluto TV. It's a free app you can get on most computers, Amazon Fire Sticks, Google TVs, whatever. On Shop Factory's website you can get it. Yeah, lots of places you can watch that, completely subtitled. The version that come out with it now is has what's called the Grongi subtitles, which gives you the subtitles also of what the bad guys called the Grongi are saying. When Kuuga originally aired, the Grongi never had anything on screen showing what they said. So it made it very mysterious as to what their motivations were and why they were doing what they were doing, and who they were as characters, because we didn't know what they were saying. But it added into the mystery of the show because of the like ancient civilization, creepy monster factor of them. So anyway, I'm really excited to have this. Enough about the Kuuga show. We're talking about the driver. So the Legend Makeover series was I don't think it was called Legend Makeover series before, but that's what it's called now. So it's a series where they've basically, the DX belts are a little more expensive and have a lot more to them. Like the DX, let's say the Bill Driver, has like the full bottles that can go in and make different sounds and different lights and stuff like that. The Legend Makeover series, the point of it was to be basically a really good entry point for, yes, young fans, but also for older fans who wanted just to like collect a belt and not have it be crazy priced. This is only $40. This whole thing here, only $40 with everything it does. Yes, these buttons don't actually press, but you'll see what it does, and it's actually pretty intense. First, I'm going to show you kind of what it looks like first before we go on with the review. 1 second, sorry, by the monitor. So here is the Arcle. So there is the front of it there with all the nice writing, ancient civilization writing, the Linto language or whatever it's called. The buttons on the side that activate the forms in show that don't on this, and I'll show you how it does. There's the side pieces there. You can see it, the little detailing there, the Kuuga kind of symbol there, sort of. Yeah, and here's the back of it, in case you guys care. There's the battery compartment. This is where the belt loop goes through. It's kind of an interesting setup with this than the DX belts, but any like belt extender piece or belt piece that you have will work with this. Now it doesn't, you want to use some extender extra pieces because these are not like the DX things where you clip them in, like the other ones. These are different. So that's one drawback, is that if all you have are DX belt pieces, this one's probably not going to fit you unless you get some belt extenders, which most collectors that want to try and wear the belt for a picture or do a henshin video or something like that will have belt extenders, but you can easily find them. They're like, I think on Bluefin brand's Team Kamen Rider page, their shop page, I think it's like $10 per extender. Like, they're very cheap. You can find them for pretty cheap. So lots of other DIY options online. There's people that will like modify seatbelt material to do it and other stuff too. So just lots of options. But anyway, that's what the belt looks like. Nice, really good detailing there. I like the middle part, how it looks there, and you know how all the tech pieces look. It's got really good paint on it for being only $40, honestly. So I'm impressed by that. But we're going to try and activate the sounds and stuff. Now, currently, my children are both napping, so they might wake up. If they do, I'm going to have to stop the review dead in the water, and we'll do it some other time. But first, to turn it on, right down here is the on-off switch. I'll show you right there. So we'll... Yeah. So to activate the different forms, you're literally just... There's a little pole right here that you move sideways, and then it back. It has like a little, you know, motor type of thing inside of it that whirs around. So I'll show you. So first up is Mighty form. Mighty, Pegasus, Rod, and Titan. Yeah, okay. Yeah. I'll do it again. Here is, I think, Pegasus form. Here is Rod form, I'm pretty sure. Or was, yeah. And then here is the Titan form. Again, the lights are so great. I love how this looks right here. It's very simple, but it works really well. Again, it's not like your average DX belt that's going to have super duper loud sounds, a bunch of lights. If this is a DX version of this, like the original release, then like you would activate things through pressing these, and that henshin wouldn't be through this piece. It would probably be something over here, because if you remember in the show, he's all like, you know, does this on his, you know, hips, and it summons it, and he's like, henshin, and then he like pounds to the side and hits a button here. That button doesn't exist with this. But again, for being a display piece and for being like kind of a collector thing and just in general wanting to have something from Kuuga, this works, and this is great. I love how it looks. It's got like a decent size to it, honestly. It honestly is a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, which is good. I thought it was going to look kind of dinky. That's my one thing with the Revice driver, is I love it, but I wish it was just like 20% bigger than it is. But this looks great, and it looks true to form for the show and everything. So I don't really have a want or need to have a CSM Arcle, because I have this, and I think this is really cool. It also displays really nice, especially when you have these little side flappy pieces back like this. It displays really nice in like a shelving unit type of a thing. But yeah, so that is most of what it does right there. Again, now Kuuga is clearly the first of the Heisei era, and it's also before anything was ever done with gimmick items. Gimmick items never really came into being until about Ryuki. I'm pretty sure Ryuki is where they started doing the cards, and then here and there certain seasons would do a gimmick item, because then it was, let's see, so there was, sorry, it's Kuuga, Agito, Ryuki, Fai's kinda with the phones, sorta, which you can also get a Legend Makeover series Fai's driver as well, Fai's belt as well. They also, I think, oh, and the original Ichigo, like Typhoon, there's a version of the Ichigo belt as well, like this, for the Legend Makeover series. The next two to come out are the Fai's belt and I think the Forze driver, which I'm thinking about getting, honestly, because I love Forze. I don't want to spend the earth on driver. But like I said, Ryuki had the gimmick items. Fai's sort of with the phones, you know, complete standing by, you know, all that. Kabuto sort of. Den-O kinda with the different buttons you'd press on there, sorta. But really, like I said, it was Ryuki that started it with having more like items that you use to transform. Honestly, I would say decade forward is where they started doing it more actively, I guess you could say. Because like in Heisei Phase 1, like Kuuga through Kiva, it'd be like every couple seasons, whereas past that, it's like every like decade through to now, it's, you know, gimmick item on gimmick item, which is fine. It's just like a thing that took off. It was a collectible thing. People really latched onto that, started making the money, so it's cool. But it's really cool to go back and see one of the first drivers and see one of the first riders of the Heisei era and how simple his driver was comparatively to how drivers are now. Not that drivers are bad now, but it's just cool to see the design aesthetics and what they went for here. All the functions you would normally have in, let's say, the 01 driver, like each of these button presses would just be a progress key, or each of these button presses would be a full bottle, you know, whereas in this, it's all in one piece, which I really like. And I think that's one thing too, is that I think I read some behind the scenes stuff when they were developing Kuuga, that they wanted it to kind of homage Ichigo a little bit, and same with the belt. They wanted the belt to be very simple, like sophisticated and looking advanced, but also looking simple enough that it is able to homage the original belt and not be too complex. So, but yeah, this is great. I'm a huge fan of Kuuga. I don't have any Kuuga figures. I want to really badly, but I'm really happy that I have this and finally have something to represent one of my favorite rider seasons ever. It's in my top 5. It is. It's right in there with all the other ones I have. So yeah, I really enjoy it. Overall review wise, I would say probably give it a strong, I'd say a strong 9 out of 10. The only thing is that I know that I said that like these buttons don't press anything. It doesn't bother me, but it would be cool if you could at least just, you know, press them in a little bit, even if they didn't activate anything. Just to be able to press the button would be cool. But I do like it. It's very simple, but I like how it activates. I like how all the sounds work, you know, just and it's pretty loud, honestly, like for being this tiny thing and just like a little, you know, gyro motor in there, you know, like it's essentially like a little rev up car, you know, like when you have little rev up cars like that. It's not a very powerful thing in there, but it works, you know. But yeah, for the like price and everything like that, I'm really impressed with it. Big shout out to Collector for finally getting this out there. I'm really happy I went with them for getting this. Like I said, along with this, there's the original Ichigo Typhoon version you can get for Legend Makeover series, and then there's also coming out soon, I think it's up for pre-order on Toku Collectibles if I'm not mistaken, the Fies belt and the Forze driver are also available through this. Now, I don't know about those if you're going to be able to like take the cell phone out and put it into the Fies belt, and if the Forze driver is going to let you actually press the switches, because of this being like basically, you know, DX Lite, kind of how like compared to how like DX to CSM. DX is not going to do at all the same things CSM is going to do, but it's going to be a better price point than spending your mortgage payment on a CSM. Similar to this, if the DX is a little expensive, which it can be with import fees and all that, then go for one of these, and this is a lot cheaper. This was like 40-ish bucks or so. So you can on Toku Collectibles website go for the Japanese release, and you can get it a little sooner, just pay a little bit more. But I went with the US release of it, and it was cheaper, and I just waited until it came, and I'm very happy that I did, because I love this, and Kuuga is a goated season forever, and I love that season. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Thank you so much for watching the channel, for subscribing. Thank you so much for liking and sharing and commenting in general. Here and there, the comments that I get, not a ton, but I appreciate them. Probably pretty soon I'm going to do another retro Toku review thing like I did with Live Man for Jetman. And probably something to talk about Kamen Rider first and Kamen Rider the next, because I'm almost finished with both of those movies, which were pretty entertaining. Yeah, and just clearly I'm going to be keeping up with, of course, Revice and Zenkaiger all the way through to the end of those, of course. As far as stuff I'm getting, I think I'm all set right now. The only other thing I know that's coming in the mail is a CSM styled belt extender thing for the Revice driver, and that's pretty much it. So I think at some point the Serval Tiger and Dire Wolf keys are coming, but I don't know when that'll be. But of course, when they do come through, I'll clearly review the sounds they make, what they do with the driver, all of that. I have the Shot Riser and the 01 driver, so I'm thinking they'll make somewhat different noises, but we'll see. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the review. Like I said, strong 9 out of 10 for the old Kuuga Arcle here. And we'll send you off with one more henshin. Henshin! Into Pegasus form, apparently. I forgot. It knew where it was. That's pretty cool. Wow, that's pretty awesome. Anyway, bye-bye.